Today we've got this spruce. I got it because basically it has some pretty cool potential. It's already got some really nice bark down low on the trunk. Obviously with nursery stock there's always issues. So I'm just going to work my way through and tell you sort of the initial plan, and then basically half of it's going to be cut off. This is a good time to do it while it's nice and vigorous, but we want to try and promote this growth that's under here. So I'll take you through what I'm going to do. Also going to just dig around the nabari a little bit too, just see what is going on down there. That's going to help dictate our eventual front of the tree. This also has some really nice lower branching, which you can hopefully see. So one here and one here. That's going to help with the final design of the tree, but basically it was one of the reasons that I got this particular tree also, is that it has really nice strong lower branching, gives us a little bit to work with that's a fair bit more developed. I'll give you a spin of the tree really quickly. Hopefully you can see it fairly well, but some large thick branches out here. But basically I'm looking at the tree in terms of probably around this section here. Well, the top is almost, it's not unusable, but we lose a lot of taper once we get to this point, because we have two big bar branches that just creates a big swelling. So pretty much anything above that is going to be hard to turn into a high quality bonsai. So I want to start the development of it quickly and not sort of stuff around to try and fix that. I'm going to just create a new leader, maybe out of this one here or something. Yeah, I guess we'll work that out eventually as I make some cuts. So now that I've showed you the whole tree, I will bring you in a little bit closer and we can start having a look at this nabari. We'll take the tree out of the pot. We can see nice healthy root ball there, nice and full. So I'm just working my way around with the rake, just loosening up the roots in the soil. It's just going to help me dig in a little bit further. We don't have to go too far to find this nabari. Hopefully we can find something pretty quickly. At least we'll be able to get some sort of idea of how the roots are forming. Again, we're looking for radial structure and sort of an even spread of roots, which I'm actually starting to find something. Any roots that are sort of crossing over, not ideal, so we can just get rid of them. I'll try and maybe clean it up, but I think I've got a pretty good base right in here, which is almost exactly where I wanted the front of the tree to be. So it doesn't often work out like that with nursery stock. You can sort of get a mixed bag of things. Generally they're left to just fill out and become quite root bound. So finding something that's done this well can be quite a rare thing, because you know, your normal nursery growers, they're not worried about what base of the tree or the root structure looks like. They're just worried about a nice big happy full tree. In bonsai terms, that's all good, but it also depends on what's happening down here. So you can see this nice nabari here. So in terms of size, that's my hand next to it. Obviously you got quite a nice root coming out here, and then you've got another one coming out this side as well, not quite as developed, but that's going to give a good sort of spread. Got some nice roots out the back here too. I can maybe dig a little bit more and just see exactly what's going on. And I'm just trying to move away some of the soil in between the roots now. Cool, alrighty, now let's make some cuts. We've got these two big bar branches here. So this one and this one is coming off directly opposite. So first up, let's get rid of those. And then we can sort of start to see, let's get rid of that whole section up top. Some people may be thinking this is quite drastic, which I guess it kind of is, but from pretty much this point up loses its taper, and there's lots of swelling and bar branching and knuckles and things like that. So getting rid of it now is going to be better long term for the tree. Get rid of all these sections here. By doing this, it's actually going to promote the growth on these ones, on these little ones here. That's going to be super important. May even be able to create some sort of gin out of this. Could be quite nice. So I'll keep some stubs and bits and pieces to create deadwood out of. Basically, here is going to be the tree, whether we bring this one up or maybe even this one. I think we shorten this back as well. Now, this is quite a lot for the tree, so this will be kept in shade probably the next maybe 2 to 3 weeks. So I think we try and bring this up. This might be a bit too strong to bring up, so Let's get rid of that as well. And then we can bring this up into here, make that the new leader. Whether we go off of maybe a smaller one, I think for now we might go off of this and try and fix the taper with some sort of deadwood feature. Otherwise this is going to be the next best option. Get a little bit of wire, we'll just wire this section up into here. So these are just ginning pliers. Basically you just go through and you squeeze the bark and it just loosens that right off. So I don't want to go too low with this either. It may die back to this point, but again, I've got these 3 pieces really that can be used for exactly the same thing and probably going to be a better taper. So I'll wire this up for now, but I think eventually this branch right here is going to be the better option. It's below that swelling, so we don't have to worry about trying to fix that taper and we can just build off of that. So I'm going to wire both of those pieces upwards just to promote that growth. Whether this one survives, it may come back to this one or potentially even this one if this one gets a bit of health into it, but this one's growing, so that could be the better option long term. So it's going to be some pretty crude wiring. We're just trying to get it into position. We'll do a very similar thing with the one underneath too. So that's all I'm going to do on this today. I could potentially maybe prune this back a little bit so it's not quite so strong to make sure the energy's up there, which I may just do a little bit of. I think I'll probably get rid of this whole section here. There's a nice bifurcation here, but then you get nothing from this section all the way up to here, whereas this one bifurcates, or at least has a branch closer to. So just to cover off exactly what I've done, we uncovered the nabari, the root ball. We found out where it's likely to be at the front. We've gone through, found the taper of the tree, and now we're going to have to try and build off of that again. We've got options down here for it to also come off of. So if these happen to, we've obviously made a big cut back, so if these happen to die back a little bit lower, we've still got these branches to work with. Cutting everything up off of the top, it's going to push energy back down into these and hopefully just create more health and vigor out of these. Let these grow out, and these are going to become very, very important for the tree. We've got new buds on a lot of these. I think eventually it's going to be quite a nice tree, but it's going to take a few years for these to develop. For now, I think we've made good progress in the overall development of the tree.